My name is Ann Harris, and this is my dream. My strangest dream wound up saving my life. When I was expecting my son, now out of college, I was having a wonderful pregnancy. There was no morning sickness. Everyone said I was glowing, especially my husband, and I was extremely happy, healthy, and active, teaching music lessons several times a week. Then one night, out of the blue, I had a disturbing and totally uncharacteristic dream. I woke up on a hospital-type bed to see a man dressed in white like a doctor, who was looking very concerned. When I asked what had happened, since I'd never had medical problems, he said, "We had to do some exploration regarding your health." He continued, "You have a rare condition. It was not possible to prevent it from happening, and you will need to follow through." He seemed sincerely sorry that my situation could not be avoided. Back then, the only health conditions I knew much about were cancer and heart disease. Since this seemed so serious, I asked the man, "Is it cancer?" His answer was baffling, "No, but there may be a cancer in it." Have a cancer in it? What did that mean? I asked, "Well, what can I do, and how do I find out about the cancer part?" Then he emphasized, "You can't do anything now. You will need to follow through later." When I woke in the morning, I had the overpowering sense that everything he said was the truth, and I started breaking into a cold sweat. It stayed with me unlike any dream I'd ever had. Finally, I forced myself to set it aside and get on with the excitement of preparing for my son. Everything went well except for a scare that our son might have Down syndrome. He didn't, and a C-section, because they thought he was over 11 pounds. He was only 8 pounds 7 ounces. Lots of misdiagnosis. My first few months as a mother were fantastic, and the day we took my son home from the hospital, one of the happiest of my life. Then about 6 months after my son's birth, I was suddenly attacked with terrifying symptoms, beginning in minutes, that wouldn't leave. Difficulty swallowing, chills, and suddenly my muscles burned like I'd had an intense workout. A coffee cup felt as though it weighed 10 pounds. I also began losing weight very rapidly. I then remembered the dream and began following through with doctors, but they didn't think there was anything wrong. I would never be so foolish as to tell the doctors about my dream, only the worsening physical symptoms. Still, one GI doctor told me his tests showed nothing, and he ridiculed most of my questions. At that point, I began to realize that I would need to figure it out on my own by reading medical books, getting doctors' help to test me when needed. The only condition I found that fit everything perfectly was dermatomyositis, an autoimmune muscular dystrophy. It was rare, affecting 1 in a million or less. Bizarrely, DM also had a very strong link with cancer. If caused by cancer, its removal could bring remission, but sometimes the disorder had a cancer involved later on in the process. Thanks to that dream, I learned to trust my body and requested an ANA, which was strongly positive for autoimmune disease, and EMGs, which were also positive for DM. Learning that the condition came with a unique rash, I spent an hour in the sun and had a classic DM rash. The physical rash and bruises convinced doctors to order many more tests. A muscle biopsy left absolutely no doubt that I did have dermatomyositis, later mixed with lupus. Left untreated, dermatomyositis can be up to 75% fatal if involving the heart, and 50% fatal if involving breathing and swallowing muscles, as mine has over many years. Once damaged, muscles do not bounce back. Without that dream, I would have thought the doctors were right about it being just stress, and probably wouldn't be here today. Out of 4 women in my state whom I heard had the condition, I am the only survivor. One of them was my rheumatologist's nurse, who died without timely treatment. I remain very grateful to God for his care, and believe this was my guardian angel.